Alex is a rugby mad, bald Geordie. Realization was I'm a freelancer. I'm going into an Arab country that I have no idea how it works. What am I going to do? So I was expecting to just come to Dubai and, do anything really. And I had kids to feed and food to put on the table. So it was that shift during 2020 when I realised, because rugby stopped. So that was the wake-up call really.
How long did it take you to recognize that, hey, it's time to wake up again and change something?
It was quite a quick realisation.
So, ladies and gentlemen, started his entrepreneurial journey in the northeast of England. He was one of the founding members of a design studio. That was his journey, starting with digital marketing. And in 2013, he had a chance to move to Dubai that was too good to be missed. Being a man in a mission, he grew a company named Foliages. I hope I pronounce it right.
Foliages.
From a small villa showroom in Jumeirah into multi-million-dollar manufacturer in Dubai Investment Park. Pursuing lifelong passion for rugby, as well as creating playground to experiment and perfect his search engine optimization techniques. He's now holding a company for a CEO agency. It's called Searchshack. So everybody, this is Daniel Tokat, Monday Talks, and join me this time to welcome Alex Johnson. Hi, Alex.
Hi, thank you very much for having me on this show.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure. And I would love to start soon, because I would love to benefit the whole time, because it's 10 minutes and it's a long story, and I would love to capture every possible place.
I've got a long journey to get in 10 minutes, haven't I? Right, so I'll start with
let's start with who's Alex?
Alex is a rugby mad, bald Geordie. I'm from the north and east of England, and I'm rugby mad. I was a freelancer in England to start with, and then my wife and I, we travelled the world. We were big travellers, and we've never been able to resettle when we got back to the UK. I think it lasted 4 years, and then I wanted to move on another new adventure. And that next adventure, it was Europe. I built a camper van and we drove around Europe for three months. Beautiful. And then that still didn't satisfy us. So in 2013, it's the opportunity of a lifetime really. My wife, she got a job as a teacher in Dubai. And I was overjoyed, but my immediate realization was I'm a freelancer. I'm going into an Arab country that I have no idea how it works. What am I going to do? So I was expecting to just come to Dubai and, do anything really. Be a kept man. But luckily, about a month before we're due to move out, a couple of entrepreneurs from the northeast of England in Northumberland, they asked me, they knew I was coming out here and they knew I had business in the past. They asked me to set up an artificial tree and plant business called Foliages, Foliages, lots of different pronunciations of it. So I, as being a freelancer, being thrown into that part of, an industry that I have no idea about. And, I was creating the company, doing all the branding, all the marketing for it, but also doing the hiring, firing. I had a warehouse in DIP. I had to learn how to ship from all over the world, ship products out. And, I was lucky enough to go to nearly all of the 5-star hotels in the region, because that was our target client back then. So I've been very lucky to.
It was in a very short time challenge. you drove this company or this brand into multi-million.
Yeah, I mean, I can't take all the credit, definitely not, and
but
I won't ever
still,
do that.
It's
But
still, it's not one man show, of course, but it's still
no, not at all.
part of it.
And I could not have grown it to where it is today, because it didn't really interest me in that sort of environment. I'm a marketeer. I love marketing companies. You know, getting them recognised is what I do. And I found myself, I was too involved in the business. So I was a general manager, so I was dealing with all the things, all the admin that didn't, you know, make me skip every day. So in 2015, I made the decision to pull myself out of that business.
Yeah, I was going to ask, why did you leave such a big success?
Yeah, well, it was growing at that point. It was successful, but it wasn't where it is now. And full credit to, you know, Simon and John, who both took their lead in that.
Okay, going back to Alex. Too much about that that business. I would love to know, like, digital marketing and rugby. Those were the main drivers in your life.
Yeah, they were.
If you can remember, what had those two things add to your life?
Oh, everything, you know. I mean, so start with rugby. I've been playing rugby since I was 8. Played at various levels. Rugby has always been a part of my life. I was lucky enough to grow up next to a rugby mad family, and they were very, very successful in rugby. That sort of
yellow rugby in just like
so when I knew I was coming to Dubai, I was like, I need to do a passion as well as work. And I thought, right, I'll get back into rugby, because I've been injured over the years. I'm fully injured with various rugby matches. And I needed to stay in touch with rugby. So first thing I tried to do was search for some rugby clubs. And only 4 or 5 rugby clubs came up on Google. And then I knew at that point that there wasn't just 4 or 5, there was 12 to 15 rugby clubs. So I thought, well, why don't I apply my skills and my knowledge to fixing that problem? Because if I'm looking for it, I'm pretty sure there's a lot more people looking for rugby clubs. So that's how I started Yalla Rugby, which basically started as a page where you could just find a list of every rugby club in the UAE. And then it spread to the Gulf, and then it covered the academies. And then it took over, you know, it really sort of skyrocketed the traffic. And I started reporting on the scores, the league tables, the photography. I was at sometimes 3 rugby matches a week. And this is all before I had kids, so I had plenty of time on my hands.
Here's a challenging question. You know, the only constant in life is change. This is like everything is changing, and you always look for the next step, and it's all the circumstances, all the plan might just flew away out, like it's not just like planned. And from the few guests that I had hosted on my show, I discovered that people learn from their mistakes, from their falls. If they stand up after that, they are successful. So I would love to get from you, like, tell us about one moment in your life where you felt yourself weak, almost gave up, but now you're here. Can you remember?
I would say quite recently, actually, COVID. So I'd been freelancing, and COVID hit, and everything, all my work previously, all my clients that come to me are mainly referrals, and I needed to change as well, because I was spending, 6 hours a day on Yala Rugby and maybe 2 on my career, Yala Rugby wasn't really making me any money. It was covering the costs, but it was a passion. And I had to remember that it was just a passion. And I had kids to feed and food to put on the table. So it was that shift during 2020 when I realized, because rugby stopped. So that was the wake-up call really, because I had no rugby, and that left me with, right, well, I'm gonna have to go out and find some work now. And that's when I rebranded myself and really focused in on offering a single service, search engine optimization, which is how Searchshack came about. And yeah, that's led me to where I am today, just focusing on SEO for clients and getting them further up the rankings. I do things quite differently to other SEO agencies. Most agencies, are 12 months.
How long did it take you to recognize that, hey, it's time to wake up again and change something?
It was quite a quick realization, I think, when my wife was like, oh, where's the money? that was the wake-up call, that I was spending too much time on a hobby when I should have been out there earning,
getting money.
But, that was sort of the clean slate really, and it definitely helped. It's certainly been the most my proudest brand that I've created in the past. I've been under various banners over the years, from web feed design to my personal name to SEO Shake to Full Stack Shack.
The time is already over, but I would love to have one more thing. It's like, what's next? What's next for Alex?
What's next? I'd like to think rugby could come back stronger.
That's really strong passion right back there.
Yeah, I would actually my wife will hate me saying this, but I would love to play rugby again.
She will watch it. I'll make sure to send her this episode.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll get back into rugby.
Okay, great. That's a good thing. Okay, to wrap up, what would you like to say to the audience about your experience? Stick around with your passion, or care about what drives more profit, revenue, or how did you live the experience of dropping that big brand because it's not fitting your what kind of advice?
Definitely change is good. I love change. Even if it's a one step back, you're more than likely going to take 2 steps forward after it with a bit of adjustment. And have a passion in your life that you can work on in the background. It doesn't have to make money, but as long as it's a passion that you can feel and that you live and breathe, because life today is it's so fast paced in Dubai especially, that it's too easy to fall into the work trap. And I'm a victim of it all the time, of working too much and not following my passion. But yeah,
ladies and gentlemen,
get passion.
That was Alex Johnson, and it was
Thank
amazing. I enjoyed it every second. I'm sure, ladies and gentlemen, you have enjoyed it with me as well. So I appreciate if you comment, share, subscribe to my Monday Talks channel over YouTube, and stay safe and have a good day. Take care, and thank you, Alex, for being my guest.
No problem. Thank you.